And they aren't the only ones paying their respects this morning. In about an hour from now, Ben Ruck is going to unroll his American flag and then set out for a walk down Manchester Avenue in Wildwood. It is his way of honoring the people who lost their lives on September 11th, 2001. He believes we should never forget that tragic day. Ben has been doing this every year, no matter the weather, for the past 17 years. He came up with the idea for the tribute while he was a student at UMSL. He told me about the first day he started the walk.
Just a full range of emotions that morning. Not only, how felt the strong patriotism among the community, as well as just the amount of grateful gratitude I have for all of our first responders and such.
If you want to join Ben this morning, he'll be walking along Manchester and Wildwood near the town center. He plans to begin around 7 o'clock this morning.
Wow, that is so great that he's doing that. I
Yeah.
feel like it's impossible for anyone to forget 9/11. You hear 9/11 and you immediately remember. But for him to do something like that, if you're driving by and you haven't thought about it, you're going to look and say, wow,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
17 years in a row now.
Wow, good for him.